what does that mean? I just got a message, but it's still taping. Anyway, she had cooked all this barbecue, so the pan was hot. She had sent her brother to the store, God rest his soul. Told him to go get some fish. She went in the house, got a cast iron skillet, poured some oil in it. She cleaned and washed that fish. Well, she didn't have to clean it. She just washed it and dried it and seasoned it. And did the corn flour thing, cornmeal. She laid that fish in the pan. We was just out there looking at her in the back. We was like, what is she doing? Why is she putting the pan on? We never saw nobody put no cast iron skillet on no grill. Then she proceeded to lay that fish in there. You know how when you lay that fish in that skillet and it's hot and that grease and it be white and just sizzling. It was just, I'll never forget that. That was in the 80s. I was really, really young. I'll never forget it. So that was one of her miraculous things she cooked. She also used to make something called seafood dressing on Thanksgiving. But we would mess around and wouldn't eat it. And if it didn't stay, what she should have done was made it. And it would be so good. I've tasted other people's seafood dressing, and I'm not the kind of person can't nobody cook but my mother. No, I'm not like that. Good food is good food, no matter who cooked it. But I know a girl, I've known people that call themselves, And I wasn't into seafood dressing like that because I'm not a seafood person like that. But what I tasted when my mother's seafood dressing would be really good. But I guess, they say as you're younger, your taste buds are not developed. But I'm telling you, my mother, maybe one of these days when I make some dressing, I'll get some oysters. I remember she used to put oysters in there, shrimp, and I don't know about crab meat, but she put oysters and other stuff. I got some older cousins. I need to ask them. And so, yeah, my mother used to make that seafood dressing. Okay, she just knew about food. That's one thing I appreciate about her. And I'm going to tell you one little last story about my mother. My brother worked for the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills. You know where Whitney Houston died, right? And he worked there in the banquet department. And so it was a weekend where my mother didn't feel like cooking. And he came home with he came home with some food. Okay, he came home with filet mignon, like this thick. And he came home with it wasn't a whole lot of different types of food, but the filet mignon, I think he had some type of chicken, and he had, and my brother, he could run his mouth, so they probably was going to throw that food away, and he said, no, let me take it, and he took it. And he had this cheese, right? So all kinds of cheese. So we was making cheese, back if you grew up in the 70s and the 80s, you know what cheese toast is. We were making a lot of cheese toast, and we would put it on the bottom of the oven and put it in, take it out real quick. So we came to some cheese, and I said, Mama, I made this cheese toast. It don't smell right. And I said, what's wrong with this cheese? He done bought this. This cheese is spoiled. And my mother said, what you talking about? And she said, bring me that cheese. So she brought me, I took it to her. She was sitting in the living room. She said, girl, this is aged cheese. I said, aged cheese? She said, yes, this is called aged cheese. She said how they age wine, they age cheese, they age meats. So my mother was one of the first foodies I ever knew. And one of her favorite chefs, she was from Louisiana, was Chef Paul Prudhomme. She loved her some Chef Paul Prudhomme. So she watched all those cooking shows and stuff back in the day, and my mother cooked fabulous foods. She didn't just cook the fried chickens and the this and then the that. And we didn't eat a lot of pork in the house. My mother didn't eat a lot of pork. Every blue moon she would make pork chops, and I say blue. And every green moon she would make something called a pork roast, where she would stuff this roast with all this garlic and what I'm trying to say. And the house would just send up with this pork. Oh, it would be so delicious. And so yeah, my mother, and then back to the filet mignon. I mean, this thick. And my mother said, you remember them black pots back in the day? They were like that tall and maybe that wide. You know, everybody grew up on them spotted black pots. Anyways, so my brother had, I think, at least 2 pots full of that. That's all we ate all weekend was filet mignon and grilled cheese sandwiches. Or we called it cheese toast back in the day. So on the grilled cheese, on the filet mignon, my mother said, don't be cooking no whole thing by itself. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. So she told us to cut them in small slices. And so we would bring like a slice that big down to like that thick as your finger. Oh my God, and we would fry it, you know. Because it wasn't like well done, you know. So we would fry it. Oh my God, I was one of, I miss my mom and I'm glad my mom wasn't here when my brother died. That would have been painful for her. She never saw that, so. But yeah, my brother that died and my mom were some of the most entertaining people on the planet. My husband laughing. And my brother Matt was crazy. So yeah, but yeah, he brought all that stuff home. My mother did, you know, because, you know, she cooked all week, 2 or 3, not 2 or 3, at least 3 or 4 times a week. I just had greedy brothers that would eat up everything, you know. She let us eat. What?
On your out, if you're out today, can you get me some flour?
I thought it was some here.
It's finished. I just used a long
Oh, anyway. So anyway. Whew. Yeah, so thanks for listening. So I'm all right. My mom died. I believe she made it to heaven. And I made sure in her last few years, I didn't know she was going to die when she died, but she was going to church, serving the Lord. So I really thank God for my mother. So thank God for your mother. And if you see ways she can improve, don't hold grudges. Go to her and tell her. Talk to her. That's how you do. And you talk to people. And your mom is not your friend, but you should be able to talk to her. And my mother saved me out of a lot of bad situations. Just her advice, if you listened, and if I listened. And I wish I had listened to her way more than I did. So I really appreciate you all. I'm almost going to 8. Is it 8:50? Yeah. So yeah, things are moving along. So I appreciate you all, even the trolls, even the people who don't say nice things, even the bossy people. I appreciate you all for watching this channel. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And I want to say on this channel, let's try to be nice to each other. And it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because a person can't get mad at you if you told them the truth. The Bible says, speak the truth in love. So we should because one thing I know and learned in life, you don't know who you're talking to. And that person may be a blessing to you. And so you just never know. So anyways, I'm going to end it here. So you guys wanted a long video, you got one today. I'm going to go in here and make me some turkey sausage maybe, and some sourdough toast and some decaf instant coffee for breakfast. It's late though. My husband getting ready to go to work. They called him to come in at 2 instead of 4. And so God bless you all. I hate to go. I hate to leave you. But see you later. I got to clean my cars out. I got a lot of little chores around the house I could do. All right. Cornstarch Streets.